Hello, I am Serpil Uygun Çiçek. We will go through the forest fires together.
Planet Earth. Our home, hosting all kinds of living beings since millions of years, is constantly changing. Earth, capable of eradicating the systems of most complex kinds as we know it, will be our home only if we care about it. Despite our resources, the natural disasters which hindering our daily lives, causing loss of life and properties, will always occur and cannot be prevented. Disasters happening due to weather conditions are called meteorological disasters. Out of 31 natural disasters occurring, 28 of them happens to be meteorological disasters. Flood, hailstorm, frost and forest fires are only a few of these. Today's topic is fire.
Unfortunately, we lost as many forested area to the fires just as much as a forested area since the foundation of our republic. Well, what is this harmful fire that destroys our forest? It is fire that spreads rapidly and destroys all living and non-living beings in the forest. Fire occurs in environments with an adequate amount of fuel, with oxygen over 15%, with levels between 260 and 400 degrees Celsius. In order to extinguish the fire, one of these three factors must be eliminated, which we call the fire triangle. Forests, which have been formed in hundreds or even thousands of years, burn down due to natural causes, such as lightning strikes, gas compression, high temperatures, or the conscious and unconscious behavior of people, such as arson, terror, recklessness. Causes of fire can be defined in different ways. Fires that start with unknown reasons, fires due to natural causes, as we just mentioned, are the fires caused by lightning strikes, volcanic explosions, and gas compressions. When the power lines fail and break off, this can cause explosions of fires. Train carts on the tracks can cause sparks, thus fires. Among the accidents caused by recklessness, people having picnics are the primary reason of fires. Ember from barbecue, thrown away cigarettes cause fires if not extinguished properly. Shepherd fire and hunter fires can also cause fires. In order to fight the fire efficiently, it is necessary to know how the fire started, how it spreads, and to know anatomy of a fire. Starting point of the fire. It is the place where the fire started. This place should be sealed so that the cause of the fire can be investigated. Fire front. It is the direction the fire advances. Depending on the topography and wind direction, there may be two or more front sections. Fire back. This part is closest to the wind source. Fire side. It is the edge of the fire. It can also be called as the right and left parts, depending on the front section of the fire. Outer perimeter. It is the total length of the outer edges of the burning and unburned area. Streams. Occurs at any change in the wind direction or the topography. It extends outwards from the front. Then they can cause even larger fires. Plots. Unburnt areas in the fire. Inlet. Unburnt fuel indentations along the outer perimeter of the fire. Spot fires. It happens due to sparks jumping off by wind. If not contained, it will cause the fire to progress rapidly. Fire line. They are the wet or final control lines located as a fire response. Three factors are required for a fire to start: fuel, i.e. flammable material, terrain structure, and meteorological elements. The dry fuels consist of dead vegetation, grasses found in the substrate, meadow plants, debris, harvest residues, wood, woodcut, and similar plant-derived elements. Properties such as thickness, quantity, type, density, and humidity of these substances affect the combustion. The terrain can change the direction and speed of the fire. It can reach high speeds on sloping terrain, while on flat terrain, path and range of fire can be estimated. At the same time, slope exposure of the land affects the amount of radiation exposure on the soil. The risk of fire is higher on steep slopes. The meteorological elements consist of rainfall, humidity, temperature, and wind. The higher the temperature, the easier it is for the dry grass and any fuel to ignite. Humidity in the air affects the possibility of incineration of any fuel. Wind, with the oxygen it provides, reaches a speed of 30 kilometers per hour during forest fires, causes the flames to grow and the fire to accelerate. Forest fires are divided into 3 types as cover, soil, and hill fires. Cover fires are the most common type of fire because they occur when dead and live plants are burned on the surface. Hill fires, on the other hand, are fires start in the top of trees and progress in that way. Soil fire, on the other hand, occurs when thick and organic fuel on the ground is on fire. Sometimes this soil fire also starts cover fires by reaching at the top. Since Turkey does not have a thick layer of humus and peatlands in the ground, this type of fire is uncommon. Forest fires generally occur in tropical and temperate zones. Since our country is in a mild temperate zone, we have a high risk of forest fires. Especially in July, August, September, fires can be seen frequently. In fact, we know that an average of 20 to 30 shrubs or forests burned per day. Due to increasing world population and desire to live in natural environments, many settlements relocate, thus increasing the risk of fire in forest areas because of recklessness. Preventative measures for forest fires are taken to prevent fires from breaking out and to reduce the number of possible fires. For this, a national forest fire protection program should be established, and it is very important to raise awareness in the public. Media is one of the most important factors in this effort, because the publications on this topic play an important role for raising awareness within the public. Experts and community leaders can raise awareness in areas such as schools, mosques, villages, by informing people there. It is necessary to determine the sensitivity of forest areas to fire. To do so, it is necessary to determine the number of fires that have occurred in the past 20 years on average and how much of the area has been lost to fire. Factors such as species of trees, relative humidity, height of the trees, temperature should also be taken into account in the determination. Dry grass should be cleaned in areas such as dump sites, railways, picnic areas, touristic facilities, residential neighborhoods in order to reduce the fire hazard. It is necessary to keep the roadsides passing through the forest, and also to maintenance and production work by Forestry Directorate should be conducted in such regions out of July, August, and September. The forest and surrounding flora must be cleared out in a controlled manner. Fires safety lines, which limits the spread of the fire, should be constructed in between acres of forests. Garbage dump sites, railway side picnic areas, touristic facilities, residential areas should also be safety lines. Nobody can predict forest fires, but the authorities can foresee the forest fire risk and warn people about it. Meteorological conditions and the time of day are important in evaluating the risks. As daytime temperatures are higher, so is the risk of fire. During nighttime, it is cooler. Firefighters can observe the process of fire by computer modeling. The most important thing during a fire is rapid response. As soon as you notice the forest fire, you should inform the authorities in order to stop the spread of fire as soon as possible. Firefighting teams consider the direction, speed, and height of forest fires when controlling a fire and guide the public accordingly. The wind can change the speed and direction of the fire. Although meteorologists do predict the direction or speed of the winds, it is not 100% reliable. Make sure to put out your matches and throw away only if extinguished. Do not try to burn wild weeds as you trim agricultural areas. Never burn your garbage. Put out the fire you lit to smoke the beehive. Do not have a picnic on the roadsides to a forest. Have picnic only in designated areas. Do not forget to dump paper, nylon, and similar items into the trash after having a picnic. Do not throw away glass, bottles, and similar objects that will create a magnifying effect in forest areas. Sparks from chimneys in the buildings close to the forest can start fires. Do not forget to clean your chimney twice a year. Request support of local authorities for pruning trees near power lines. If you live in buildings nearby the forest, get rid of the grass around the building. Do not keep flammable materials around you. Straw, sawdust, and flammable materials should be cleaned off in your living areas. Plant trees that will not burn easily, such as sycamore and willow in the forests. You can get information from local governments to learn about the latest situation in your area. Your municipality and forest regional directorates know the forest fire zones. You can access risk maps from these institutions. If there has been a fire in your area before, it is likely to reoccur. When you're faced with a forest fire, the preparations you have made before can reduce the hazards of fire. However, sometimes fire is so fast and mighty, all you can do is try to escape. If your area is in danger, it is better to use iron fences instead of wooden ones for your property around your house against fire. Keep the proximity of our property off any dry, flammable materials within 10 meters. Again, you have to cover your windows with wire meshes. The information that should be covered within Family Emergency Plan is as follows. How are we going to communicate with each other during a forest fire? Where our disaster bags are stashed? If we are in the way of a forest fire, where is our mustering place? You should do the following things during forest fires: calling fire hotline to report the fire, following all the news about the fire from the media, consuming as much water as possible in dry and hot weather. Smoke and fumes is deadlier than the flames. Stay away from the smoke as much as possible and make an escape plan without panicking no matter what. Lay down on the ground facing the fire in order to breathe more easily in case of carbon monoxide gas in the area. If you are in a fire, covering your mouth with a wet cloth will protect you from poisoning. Lay down facing the ground in case of fire. If you have time, start your on fire to create a safe area for yourself with the matches or a lighter if you have them on you, because you can fight fire best with fire. If you are caught in fire in your vehicle, raise all the windows and shut the doors. Lay facing down and cover yourself with a blanket. Keep your headlights on to get noticed. If you are in the building, you need to be in contact with the people in the building and move in an orderly fashion instead of acting alone. It is necessary to fill everything with water, such as sink and tub. Remove flammable materials such as curtain drapes and seats in front of the windows. Evacuate your home with the crucial documents. If you have time, clean up flammable materials around the building. During the evacuation call, do not re-enter the house unless the authorities let you to. Stick to the family contingency plan you've prepared earlier. Choose the safest escape path from the fire. Remember, fire and smoke can change direction at all times. Replace the highly flammable items and furniture away from the windows. Shut your windows and lock the shutters. Make sure no one is left inside and don't go back to recover your valuables. During the evacuation call, do not re-enter the house unless the authorities let you to. Be aware that although the fire is extinguished, it may grow again. Watch out for ash pits. Stay clear of damaged poles and power lines. Always put on a mask when working with fire ashes and fire materials. Wet the debris to avoid being affected by dust particles. To protect hands and feet, choose leather gloves and heavy-soled shoes. If there is no power when you enter the house after the fire, check the switches of your fuse box. The fire may have exposed electrically live wires. Check your roof. Clean it off flammable materials that can catch fire. Beware of any embers that could cause fire in your home. Prefer leather gloves and heavy sole shoes to protect your hands and feet. Wear rubber gloves as outdoor debris may contain high amounts of bacteria from the sewer, and support every citizen around you affected by the fire. Trees weakened by fire may pose a danger of falling. Sometimes fires on the roots and fires under the ground may keep on burning. Because of this, we should pay attention to trees. When the fire is over and you have entered your home, cleaned up all the mess. Yet your food is also may become inedible. Any food that is dry, burned, or that might be exposed to fumes is deadly to consume. Additionally, we should not use any polluted water for our personal hygiene. We should keep away any plant that could be a fuel or a flammable material within 10 meters of the house. We will not store products such as wood and hay bales. If we will reforestate the area around our house in near future, we should prefer hardwoods, which are fire-resistant, species such as oak, beech, cherry trees. To be involved with forest preservation affords against fires. The followings are required: to be a citizen of the Republic of Turkey, to be over the age of 18, to hold a primary school graduation, to have no record of crime, a health certificate, basic and practical firefighter training. If you want to be a volunteer, first step is going to the Forest Regional Directorates or Forest Management Directorates and fill out an application form.
The constant change of the world is a natural thing, and so are the natural disasters. Therefore, they'll always continue to be a part of our lives. If we take the necessary precautions and be prepared for them, we could mitigate the loss of lives and properties, having learned to exist harmoniously in the nature. If we happen to be competent in times of crisis, desperation won't be an option no more.